is Malene. I am the Playful Knitter, both here on YouTube and on Instagram. I'm coming to you from the northern part of Denmark because I do live here in Denmark with my husband and our 2 girls, and we also have 2 cats. This is my podcast. It's all about knitting and sometimes a tiny bit of sewing. And you will also hear lots of music played on this piano right here by me. Yeah, and I have chosen a piece of music to play for you today, so that will be on here later. Actually, not played on this piano because it is so out of tune. So I did just run into work. It's pretty close to where I live, and use one of the pianos in there. So today you will hear music, but not see me playing as you usually do. I do, however, have a lot of footage. I just took a trip to Minnesota to visit my family over there, actually for very sad reasons, but I was so happy to see them. I will chat a little bit more about that. But for now, let's just jump on in to all the knitting and chat a little bit about that. Oh, one thing I do want to say though, because I have so much to tell you today, like about concerts, about Knitathon, about so many things. But I'm also doing a weekly making vlog type of thing this week. So I will film a little bit every day of what I make. There will definitely be sewing because I have a couple of things that I want to experiment with this week. Some new fabrics that I bought in the States, very exciting for me. And some knitting and some new cast-ons I want to do. And this week is winter break here in Denmark, or should I say in the part of Denmark where I live, up north, because even though we're a teeny tiny country with only like 6 million people in total, we don't have winter break at the same time all over the country, which is kind of silly, but good for us because the whole rest of the country had the week off last week, and this week is just us. So yay, good for us. All right, let's talk FOs. These socks I cast on before I left for the States. I knit on them on the plane. I had no trouble getting my knitting needles on the plane. Isn't that amazing? I was so worried. And I was like, I should bring wooden needles, but I didn't really want to knit socks on wooden needles because that's not my favorite. So what I did is that I put on those little needle stoppers, the little rubbery thingies with all kinds of, I don't have a set here, but yeah. Or do I? Let's look. Yep, I do. I put both of my socks needles in one of these, and it worked just fine. I won't say that's gonna work for everybody, but it worked for me. And I was happy to knit on my socks during the plane ride. Ooh, I do have one more FO. Now I remember. I was like, do I really only have one FO? Let me finish showing you these and I will get the other one. These are my socks for the January. Well, my friend Lone from Alonelysocklady, she has a knit along this year that if you knit a pair of socks in her self-striping yarn every month of the year, then you can participate. You can participate for the whole year or just the months that suit you. I was going to participate in January and I did finish in time, but I finished them on the plane on my trip back to Denmark. So seeing as I turned off my phone and I couldn't turn it back on because I wasn't in airplane mode, I didn't post my picture in time. Doesn't matter, that's not why I'm knitting them, but you know, just to support the knit along. So I will post in time this month. They're really just a pair of vanilla socks. It is, as I said, by yarn by Alonelysocklady. The theme for this year's yarn club is Anne of Green Gables, and the colors she has done in collaboration with another sweet friend, Shawlette. She has a Danish podcast, Højhuset, and I love it so very much. I will link that in the description box below, along with everything else I talk about, patterns, yarns, makers, all that stuff, you know. This is how much I have left of a 50-gram self-striping skein and a 20-gram contrasting mini. So I think that's pretty good. I wear a size 7.5, 39, European size. That's perfect. I could have made the foot or the leg longer, but I wanted them to match, and they do. So I did a little bit of yarn management. So yeah, they are a vanilla sock. I cast on 64 stitches because I'm experimenting with size again. And what I did find is that the cuff in 64 stitches is just a little bit too wide for me. I know I could just knit it on a smaller needle, but I'm too lazy for that, so I don't want to do that. So from now on, I think I'm going to cast on 56 stitches for the cuff and then just increase and do 64 stitches on the leg. Usually I do it right before the heel, but I want to try something else. And every color change, I did knit 4, purl 4, knit 4, purl 4. Maybe you can see if I come up a bit closer, just for a little fun thing to concentrate about. And they have a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. Very lovely. I just love Lona's yarn. It's a bit more plump than a lot of other fingering weights, and I love that a lot. I knit my socks on a 2.25 millimeter needle. And now let me go get that other thing that I knit on the plane. I can't believe that I forgot these because I've been wearing them so much. For work, among other things, I am a musician, so I do all kinds of things. But one thing I do is I play piano for the ballet classes at our local music school, or culture school as we call it. And where I sit at the piano, there's kind of a draft. So my wrists are sometimes a little bit cold, and I'm like, I want some wrist warmers. So these very simple wrist warmers is what I came up with. I cast on as I was sitting waiting for the plane to board the plane at the airport here in Aalborg, where I live in Denmark. And then I flew on to Amsterdam. I had a layover there, knit on them there too. And then on to St. Paul, Minneapolis, and Minnesota. And by the time I got there, I had one finished and another one cast on. And I think this yarn is just beautiful. This was a sock set from the Advent, the 4 Sunday Advent that I got last year from Alonelysocklady. And the contrast, you can see the kind of brown up here, that's a contrast. And I cast on 56 stitches. I knit a couple of rounds of just plain stockinette. And then I added the stripes and knit 1 stitch with each color for I don't know how many rounds, 10, 12, I don't know. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And then just for a length that I thought would suit me, and then a bit of ribbing to end it off. And here's what I got. They haven't even been washed yet. I've been wearing them so much. I love these, like, so much. This colorway is called Grandma's Christmas China, or Grandma's Old China or something. I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But I think it is beautiful beyond words. I mean, look at that color combination. So beautiful. These are also just, I knit them just like my socks. So 56 stitches on a 2.25 millimeter needle. Very easy. Did I finish them before I went home? Because I remember wearing them on the plane ride back to Denmark. Or did I finish them on the plane? I think I did. For like the first part, and then I just wore them. Very nice. Those were my FOs. Let me rearrange a couple of things and then we'll take a look at the whips. Just had to go let out the cat. And I got the leftovers from the wrist warmers. They're called Grandma's Wedding China. Duh, Malene. So beautiful. And I have enough in here to make another pair. Let's talk socks first. I will show you what I actually can't show you, but I want to show you the yarn because it's so beautiful. It's in a bag from 3 by the Sea Designs with cats, of course, because I love cats. And let me dig in here. This is Vium Garnfarveri. So Vium yarn dyers, and the colorway is Aquata. And look at this, it has Delina in it. Isn't that beautiful? And I will show you a cuff because that doesn't matter. It's just a cuff knit like any other cuff, but I just think it knits up so beautifully. So beautifully. Yeah. I will show you the socks as soon as I can. And then I have 2 pairs of socks that I'm working on right now. And one is in this one, the Anne of Green Gables. I did sew up some bags that I sold in relation to the yarn club that Alonelysocklady has this year. And I had a tiny bit of fabric left because the first ones were like those peekaboo bags with the window. And I sewed up just, I think, maybe a handful of these little mini bags. And see, even for my own, I had to do an extra seam in the back in order for me to get one too. So yeah, and I didn't have any of the inside fabric left that I used for the bigger bags. So this is just something that I had laying around. And in here, in this teeny tiny bag, I'm in love with making bags like this at the moment. So I will make some more, not in this fabric because I don't have any more. And in here is the club from this month. Let me show you the tag. So it is Alonelysocklady, and this is the February colorway, An Enchanted Moon. And if you want to know more about that Shawlette that I mentioned just before, Strik, every month she does a little video about the reason that she picked these colors and what it is in relation to with the series. And I just love this. It's like so dark and moody and beautiful, and oh my goodness, I love it. And I have the first sock on the needles. Let's turn it this way around so it's cuff up. And then I did like a little texture type of thing that I'm playing around with on there. I will explain more about it when they're done and if I like it. And there's, of course, another cuff ready for the second sock because if I knit the cuff, I'm almost done. So I've turned the heel on this one. Again, just a heel, slip stitch, heel flap and gusset. 56 stitches. And then I was going to increase right after the cuff, but I forgot. So I increased before the heel, just like I do usually, to 64 stitches. So now I'm doing the gusset, and then, yeah. You know, when you get to here and you've turned the heel, for me, it feels like the sock is almost done. And I'm using the contrast for the cuff and the heel, and I think I will also use it for the toe. We'll see. So these are my February socks. Oh goodness. I'm sorry for the background noise, but yeah, we do have 2 cats. And then in here, in my little maritime bag, is socks for my husband. Finally, I've been working on his socks and one is done. I didn't bring his blockers up here, but oh well, it will have to do. For him, I am doing knit 3, purl 1 on the 1 round, and then just a plain knit round for the second round and repeating those. I cast on 64 stitches on a 2.25 millimeter needle. Then I knit 50 rounds for his leg, and he tried this one on. He was like, that leg is kind of short. And yeah, I remembered that we talked about that before, but I just didn't remember while I was knitting it. So next time I knit him a pair of socks, I will knit maybe 60 rounds or 70 rounds. We'll see. He wasn't unhappy. It was just like for winter socks, he likes them a bit longer. Then there's a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and then a foot. And I have the second sock on my needles. This yarn is an Opal yarn. And the colorway is number 2103. Oh, it's one of those Højhuset colorways. You can see the painting right there that they're inspired by. I think it's a fun colorway, and Lars doesn't care which colors he has on his feet, so I can knit anything, which is very nice for me. And he was like, oh, it doesn't matter that they're a bit short in the cuff, in the leg. No matter, I will need spring socks as well, because this is all he wears, like from September and on into April, May. So he's very knit worthy. I know I say that all the time, but I'm just so happy because I love to knit socks. Yep. And then I need you guys' help. Because of course I was planning my knitting. I did kind of have to rush everything a little bit because, yeah, as I said, I went to the States, and I went there because my host mom was very, very sick. And so I jumped at the first plane tickets that I could get and get time off work and then just go there. She was staying with my host sister at the time, and I went there and stayed with them. It was very lovely. But I wanted something to keep me company for the very long plane ride there. Is almost, no, not 9 hours, I think 8.5 hours or something from Amsterdam to Minnesota. So I had bought some yarn at the festival that I went to. I think I showed you last time. And I wanted to cast on this shawl by Ambah O'Brien, the Triagonal Shawlette. And I still really want to knit it, but I don't really know what it is. I love the yarn, I love the colors. I have them on wooden needles. Maybe that's the thing, I don't know. It's just, there's just something with the look I'm getting, with the feeling of knitting it. I don't know. Have you guys, well, you probably tried that. I don't really know what to do. So this is a paid for pattern. I won't say too much, but there's also something with the finishing on the sides that I'm not too happy with the way that I'm doing it. There's nothing wrong with the pattern. Very important for me to say, nothing wrong. I love Ambah's patterns. They're amazing. I've knit them before. I've knit them more than once because I love them so much. But you know, I'm lazy when it comes to purling, and this I-cord, one of them has to be done with some purling and the other one with some knitting. So I knit some of it on the plane, decided when I got to my family's house to rip it back and start it over and just do it knit-wise on both I-cords. But then I saw why she did it with a purl stitch in one side because, well, let's see if I can show you. Can you see the little ridge right there? Maybe you can. And see that it is not there. And then if I turn it around, the little ridge is there and not there. So of course you want the front to have no ridges and for them to be on the back. So the design is like perfect. So either I just continue, switch to metal needles for sure, because I don't like these. They're just fine. They're bamboo needles from Chaogu. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just not for me. I just love my metal needles. Yeah. So yeah, either I continue on metal needles and do not care about this because like, who's gonna get so close to me and notice it, right? Or maybe I try and see if I can find another pattern. It's 5 minis. Do you guys have a pattern for 5 minis that you could recommend? I'd love recommendations. So this can just sit and I can just think a little bit more about it. And if you have a suggestion for a 5 mini skein shawlette, I guess you would call it, please leave me a comment. And I would love some inspiration. It is in this bag that I sewed with all kinds of leftovers from other bigger bags that I've sewn over time. And now, before I show you my last whip, I have to go get the cat because she's pushing stuff off a table. Oh, the joy of having cats. I wouldn't miss them for the world. And there she goes again. In here is my last whip. And this is actually what I'm just mostly knitting on at the moment because it is bringing me so much joy. I love the yarn, I love the pattern, I love just the combination of the yarn and the needles and everything. Oh joy. This is my Rain or Shine blanket. It is designed by Stephen West, and I'm knitting it in an advent that I had not knit out of, even though it was from 2024. Oh well, it was just some treasure that I had laying around waiting to be knit up. And the yarn is by Ahomespunhouse, and it is beautiful. You hold fingering weight double. Let's see, let me just scoot back a little bit and see if I can show you. So let me stand up actually. Here we go. I am past the halfway point. So it's not going to be a big blanket, but maybe like a throw. It's a little bigger than the baby blanket. The pattern has 2 different sizes, a baby blanket and the big, huge version with many skeins of yarn. And I did not want to do that because, yeah, that's a lot of yarn. And I knew that I would lose interest, to be honest. I love knitting this, but I'm also happy that I've turned the halfway point and I can see the end of it. And then I can cast on something else. That's just kind of the way I work. But yeah, look at the texture of this. Isn't it just gorgeous? And I love the colors so much. I've actually used up almost all of the 24 mini skeins. This is the last one I have. And I'm holding it double with little bits of leftovers where I've like here, if I had like 1 repeat and then I had a little bit left, then I would just save the little teeny tiny snippet. And I just did a magic knot ball, and then I will hold these double for as long as the yarn goes. And then after that, I have some minis in my stash that I will just go pick up colors that I think goes with the rest of it. And you know, it's just lovely and scrappy. So basically I can choose anything I want. This is so squishy, and just, I mean, I'm hoping that you can kind of see it. I am on a, let's see if I can see right here. Is it 4.5 millimeter? And that is a size US 7. I recommend this blanket so very much. It's, yeah, as I said, it's really bringing me joy. She found the tissue paper that was holding some of the yarn that I'm going to show you in just a minute after I play you some music. She's trying to wrap herself. Let me show you. Mimi, you are precious, but you do not need to be wrapped. So proud of herself. That's what you get when you tune in here. Cats and craziness. It's a cat circus. All right, that was what I had off my needles and what I have on my needles. I do have a couple of more things, but they have not had any love, so I won't take the time to show you. Before I show you some of what I've purchased, both here in Denmark, but also what I've brought home with me from the States. Just a little chat about what's been going on and why I went there. And full disclosure, this is not a happy tale. So if you do not like to hear sad stories, just skip ahead a little bit and you can hear the music and see the pictures. Because yeah, I did go to the States to visit my host family because my host mom was very, very sick from cancer. And yeah, things were not looking good. And my sister, well, I call her my sister because she is my sister in my heart, even though she is not by blood. She contacted me over Christmas and said, Mom's not doing well, can you come? And I just dropped everything and got there as soon as I could. And thankfully I got there in time. And we had the most lovely visit. We had some wonderful chats. I got to say the things that I wanted to make sure that she had heard. And my sister and I got to hang out and do a little running around together and chatting and reconnecting. And it was just very lovely. And she was still with us by the time I got home. But unfortunately, the day before yesterday, right before I fell asleep actually, and it was kind of weird because I had this t-shirt on it that we had printed when she first got sick. And I was wearing that. And then I got a text from my sister and said that she had passed away. And even though it was very peaceful and yeah, you know, now she doesn't have to be in pain anymore. It's sad. It was just, they gave me a place in their family and in their hearts, and they will be in my heart forever, and I will miss her always. Just put up a picture here of my beautiful, wonderful host mom and me when I was very, very young and staying with them back in the mid-90s. So a very long time ago. So I've chosen this song in her honor and in her memory. May she rest in peace. And I invite you all to sit back, relax, and let your stitches flow. thank you for staying with me and for letting me chat a little bit about that. And hopefully you enjoyed the footage that I had from visiting with my family. Did you see those kitties? Oh my goodness, they were teeny tiny even though they were grown up. And they were sisters, Athena and Freya, and we bonded quite quickly. So it was very nice to have some cats to cuddle with over there as well. And puppies, and yeah, just a nice family time. It was very wonderful. So as I said, I also brought home a couple of things from the States. I did go to Hobby Lobby. Oh my goodness, I could have stayed there forever. We also went to Michael's. I wasn't too impressed with that, but I think it was because that they were at a point where they just did not have much on their shelves. They were restocking, it said. So I just caught them at a bad time. So mostly I bought stuff from Hobby Lobby, but I will put in some video while I chat. So the first couple of fat quarters that you see, the pink ones, are from Michael's, and then there is some other fat quarters, couple of little packs that I got at Hobby Lobby. And then you will see some fabric that I had printed on Spoonflower. That's so cool. And I took the chance, since I was in the States, to order some, because I don't really know what it would be like to order it and have it shipped to Denmark, import tax wise and stuff. So all the kitty cat fabric and the fabric that has like knitting printed on it is from Spoonflower. And then you will see some yardage of some flowers, some trucks, some 4-leaf clovers, and some strawberries and stuff. That is all from Hobby Lobby. And then let's talk yarn. I was like, what to try out when I actually have the chance and I can order it without having to pay the more expensive shipping, and sometimes we have to pay taxes on it. Not every time, but sometimes. It kind of depends on whether or not it goes straight through customs or not. So, and I don't know. It was kind of hard because when I watch American podcasts, I was like, oh, I want to try that. I want to try that. But then when I had the chance, I couldn't think of anything. But then, I want to try something from Miss Babs. So I ordered a full skein. It was so hard to choose, but limited space in your suitcase. Fun fact, I can have 23 kilos or 50 pounds in my checked-in suitcase. And when I put it to check in, going home in Minneapolis, it was 50 pounds on the dot. I did bring home quite a lot of American candy for the girls, and they enjoyed it very much. So soul food, I just thought was the perfect skein for me with the situation and everything. Plus, it's just my colors. I love them very much. And then I bought 2 mini skein packs. Miss Babs, I've seen before that she also does the little kits for the gnomes, but haven't bought it because I'm in Denmark. So I jumped at the chance to order me a set for the, I don't remember the name now, but the little pumpkin gnome that she did last year, because I think it's so cute. Yeah, there's some colorway names right there. And some colorway names right here, if you want to see. But yeah, Miss Babs. And when you order from her, you get, or from them, you get a little extra skein, something to try out, a little swatch. Swatch me a 10-yard sample of some fingering weight. And this colorway is called Lilacs. And also attached to the little card with some beautiful stitch markers. Very wonderful. And then some of my favorite people and favorite yarn dyers and bag makers and everything, 3 by the Sea Designs. They had a mystery set out, and I was lucky enough to be able to get it while I was still in the States. And the theme was the the sound of music. And I think I'm okay to show it because I saw it on the Crazy Sock Lady yesterday, and I think that must mean that most people also in the States will have gotten theirs. So if not, and you don't want to see it, please look away now. This is the sock set, and oh my goodness, I am blown away. I mean, it is gorgeous. Look at that. Look at those colors. It is called Music in the Mountains, and the 2026 mystery sock set on their Sanibel base. It's fingering, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. I love it so very much. And it always comes with some tea and a little something in here. And I ordered the little stitch marker that comes with it. Hopefully you can see. But how cute is that? It's a little smiley mountain. And it is by Charmed and Dangerous. I think that's so cute. And then I also ordered, hold on, let me take this out. I ordered this set of stitch markers that I've looked at for many, many times. It's Kit Kats, little kitties, in all the colors of the rainbow. I will put that maybe on this bag. That will go cute together. We'll see. Or maybe one of the bags that I show with the fabric. Or maybe one of the bags that I sew with the kitty fabric that I got in the States. We'll see. All right, but that's not all. Last time I showed you the January colorway in the Yarn Club by Triagonal, a Danish yarn dyer. And I am going to show you the February colorway right now. It's like a folklore theme. And this month is Kentawa. So it is the creature that has the body of a horse and the body of a human. And this is the colorway. It is on her trip base. And that is an 80-20 base, and it is high twist. And even though I'm not a fan of high twist, I just love her yarn so much that I do not care. Plus it's 365 meters per 100 grams, so it's a bit more plump, and then I don't mind. I'm not a fan of the 425 meters per 100 grams. If it's high twist, it's too loosey-goosey when I knit it, but this is just fine. And look at this beautiful color. Isn't that just amazing? I love it very much. And aside from the yarn, you also got a little pack of stitch markers. Very, very lovely. I already showed you the February yarn from Alonelysocklady. I have her yarn club this year too, so I've seen that. And I was like, okay, well, I bought yarn in the States and I bought fabric and I had that other yarn club, so no more need for yarn. And then Lona had a shop update. Yeah. And then this happened. She just had a shop update with her Valentine's Day colors, and this is Chocolate Hearts. I couldn't. And you know how much I love yellow. So this is her gradient, mustard gradient, and mustard yellow and me, we're friends, so it had to come live with me. And when you order from Lona, you also get like a little swatch, and this was the one that I got this time. Very, very beautiful. Is that it? Yes. Quite a bit. So now for all the exciting other things that I have to share with you. Because I'm not letting you go yet. I hope that you're still here. Because so many things are going to be happening in March. On March 14th and 15th, Miss Knits Sweet Pia is once again hosting a knitathon. Isn't that just amazing and lovely? And I've been invited to do like a little concert on Saturday evening. So Saturday, March 14th, in the evening Danish time, but I will link Pia's website in the description box because you can see the schedule and all the times, and there's link to all the podcasters that will either be going live or premiering an episode. I will be doing the last because that is the way that I guess get the best sound on both the music and the speech. But I will be sitting and chatting with you as the episode airs. Yes. And then a concert in real life. I've been invited to Strik i Højhuset here in Denmark, and it is on March 21st. And I will be doing a concert in the evening. So what you can do there is you buy a ticket, and then it includes dinner and just hanging around knitting and chatting. And then there's an hour concert with me while I play some music where you can sit back and relax and let your stitches flow while I play for you and chat a little bit because I can't stay quiet completely. So mostly music, but also a little bit of talking, and I will show you what I have on my needles and, talk a little bit about what knitting means to me, but mostly music, I promise. And then I also want to do a big shout out to a friend of mine, Christina. She has just recently started podcasting in English, and she is amazing at it. She always say like, oh, well, I'm not too good at speaking English, but she is wrong. She's doing so well, and I really encourage you to go check her out. I will link her podcast in the description box. She's just wonderful and lovely, and she knits the most beautiful things. So yeah, she's very inspiring. Go check her out. A big shout out and lots of hugs to you, Christina, and very well done for taking the jump and doing something that you've wanted to try for quite a while. I really applaud you for that. It's so cool. Really, isn't that what it's all about? We should do what brings us joy, and sometimes we have to try out new things that maybe makes us feel a little insecure and but then when we do it, that's so cool. Oh my goodness, this episode is so disturbed by cats. Now they're playing upstairs. Upstairs is our bedroom, and apparently they're having quite the party up there right now. Before the party goes even more crazy up there, let me just thank you for being here. Thank you for all your lovely comments and for all of your support during this time that has not been easy. Being so far away just really stinks, especially in times like this. That's all I can say. I wish I could just jump in my car and go over there and be there, So it is what it is. But I thank you all for, so many of you have checked in, you've left me comments and sent me messages and stuff. And it's just, I can't even tell you how much it warms my heart and just makes me feel that even though there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world right now, maybe it's actually going to be okay because we have each other and we have knitting. Yeah. Thank you. I wish you all the best and lots of hygge. I hope to see you soon. Maybe you will be back to watch the weekly vlog. I hope so. Take care and see you soon. Bye.